Welcome everybody to I'll Hang Up and Listen, brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at 8 different Western New York locations. One of the best places to go to happy hour for a Sabres game, a Bills game, any sporting event, or just to wind down after a long day at work. Go over to Fatty Beer, one of Western New York's only kid and dog friendly bars, open 7 days a week, 11:30 a.m. till 10:30 p.m. and later. Live music, entertainment, and trivia at all 8 locations weekly. And let's not forget Buffalo Logo Apparel, one of the best places to get all of your Buffalo sports apparel needs. They have a lot of cool stuff ready to go for the upcoming Eclipse. They carry our merchandise now, right there, the 39 Letterman hat. This honestly doesn't do it justice. The embroidery on it is incredible. The silver, the white, the red, absolutely electric. Oh, and little paint homage again, more homage to the Dominator right there, will be available on the side of every single snapback cap. Tons of Bills merchandise. You can find it all at Buffalo Logo Co. on Instagram and Twitter, at Fatty Beer on Instagram and Twitter as well. Sabres win 3-2 in a shootout. They win twice in one game, technically, if you really want to, split hairs. We'll get to that too. The offsides review you heard around the world. I mean, I went up and down Twitter on my Twitter timeline, and that's all everybody's talking about, how both teams essentially went into the locker room, one loss, and then they got called back out. I'm kind of wondering, why didn't Edmonton's coaching staff just tell those guys, hey, stick around, we're going to challenge this? Have common sense there, at least to hold it up so they're not half undressed, because I've been playing hockey my entire life. Some guys, it takes 30 seconds to get undressed. I'm not even kidding you. It's not an exaggeration. They get their equipment off so fast, and they're in the shower within 2 minutes of that game ending. It's a fact. So I'm kind of surprised that the coaching staff didn't just say, hey, hold up. Let's calm down here. Let's see if this is offsides. We're going to challenge it, see what happens. Or maybe they just did it just to take a shot at it, because why not? You know what I mean? What do you got to lose? Not like they can penalize you. So, I mean, I guess you should almost do that in almost every single overtime game or in the overtime, just off pure luck, or, maybe it was offsides. Maybe that was a situation. Maybe they weren't expecting to win it and they just happened to. I don't know. But yeah, it's a lot to unpack. Just give me 1 second here. 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, a lot to unpack here. Sabres go down 2-0 pretty early. Not pretty early, but early enough in the first period. Goals from, it was McLeod, and I forget who got the second one. It escapes me. Was it? No, it wasn't Dries. Who was it? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. They go up 2-0, and then Bo Byram throws the puck on net, which is one of the things I love about him. He's not afraid to get pucks to the net. Said that after we traded for him. This guy does a lot of things very well. He defends in front of his own net very well. He is physical. He's an immaculate skater. He gets pucks to the net, and he's not afraid to headman the puck. It's just a short list of all the things I love about him. But gets the puck on net. Tage Thompson is there. Tuck is there. Eventually, Tage Thompson shovels the puck past Stuart Skinner to get the Sabres on the board. And then, of course, again, just an example, get pucks on net. You never know what's going to happen. Jacob Bryson on the backhand, taking it wide, throws the puck on net, ends up behind Stuart Skinner. Come on, guys. Just all you do, put pucks on net. I mean, just imagine if they've been doing this kind of stuff all season. Instead of trying to set up your perimeter shooters to score from outside on the perimeter, because we have too many perimeter shooters on this team, just get pucks on net, man, and crash. Both those goals are results of that. So it just goes to show, maybe what could have been this season if you had done that more often. Maybe Casey Middlested's still a Buffalo Sabre. Who knows? Maybe Bowen Byram isn't on the Sabres. I don't know. That being said, a lot of good resiliency from the Sabres in this one after being down 2-0. So many, how many times that happened this year and they folded like a chair against a very, very good Edmonton team looking to make a big playoff push here. Two of the best players in the world on their team, and McDavid and Draisaitl. Obviously, you lost the other night to Nashville. I appreciate the resiliency in the battle to get back into that game. Didn't see a ton of Jeff Skinner tonight, huh? He's slowly but surely being exposed for some of his shortcomings. I've never been a Jeff Skinner hater, but he has not been good at all, really, for the most part this season. He has short stints where he can put the puck in the net, but again, on the power play, on the wall, make a decision. You can't sit there with the puck and two guys jump right on top of him. Puck gets pushed the other way, 2-0 on your own power play, and they score. That's a joke. That's pathetic. So I don't know. Jeff Skinner's starting to lose favor with the coaching staff. You can tell. So I doubt you'll ever see him out in overtime ever again, because we all know what happened last time. That was hard to watch. Really, really hard to watch. We got some comments here from the Peanut Gallery. We'll pop them in here real quick. From Mauricio, I'm ecstatic for the win. UPL stood tall once again. No even strength scoring from top six forwards. Tuck, Thompson, Cousins, Paterka struggling. It's obvious they panic. Don't slow down. Be accurate. Place puck. From Robert, give Sabres credit for not running for the bus after the deadline. I agree. Point blank, high danger slot scoring opportunities all game long. Forwards are not snake bitten. An excuse you create your luck. With skill, talent, growth, scoring finesse, it's a get it done league. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I just think they're having a down year. And it sucks. I'm not going to give up on these guys. It looked like it might have been get ugly earlier, but UPO held the minute and they found themselves in it, and they found themselves by the third period. They remain a total enigma as a team. No rhyme or reason as when they have a good game. More from Mauricio. Has the top six, bottom six scoring cratered. Even strength goals from 12th forwards last 4 games, maybe 1 goal. Olofsson. I'm realistic. Remember, defense first, back check, forecheck, goaltending, all priority. Need more opportunistic scoring and score. Need more opportunistic shooting and scoring. Which assistant coach is teaching scoring finesse? It's pathetic. I mean, coaching is definitely a big question mark on this team. I don't know. Again, you're not going to see Don Granato. Maybe his staff will be gone. I can definitely see that happening. I could see that being the move they make in the offseason is telling Don, like, we got to find you a new staff. Like, can't have this again for 2 seasons in a row. Not happening. We'll give you another chance, but your staff, we got to revamp that entirely. Cousins with a solid effort tonight. He was fast and pushing the puck. Good win for the boys. They looked like they actually were trying to win a game. I mean, I think they're always trying to win. It's just, some guys are putting forth a bigger effort than others. I think that is a definite for sure. Pablo coming in with some of the ice time numbers. I like it. Forward ice time. Paterka, 6:04. Skinner, 9:15. Krebs, 12:03. See, that concerns me that Paterka is getting 6 minutes of ice time. Rusek, what the? I mean, we won great, but what on earth? Krebs, did I miss something? Did Paterka get hurt? I might have. I won't lie to you guys. Like, I was, in and out of the game. I have some stuff to do with 12:30 at matinee game. But, like, did Paterka get hurt? Like, that's weird. 6 minutes of ice time. That's wild. UPL is solid. Gives you a chance to win. Where the hell is Duane? Happy hour? I am right here. This is me. This is me. I'm here. So, you know what? That's right. You guys were commenting on it in the chat before I went live. That's what that is. Sorry, guys. A little confusion there. But yeah, I know the odds of them making the playoffs are very, very unlikely. But me being the optimistic that I am, you have a team that's in front of you in the standings in the wild card hunt. Detroit, you play them 3 times over the next couple weeks. 3 times. You play a couple other teams that are in front of you in the standings too. I mean, here we go again, the vicious cycle of optimism in Saberland, but like, go on a little run here, win a few in a row, beat Detroit, win regulation, don't give up loser points to these teams that are in front of you, and maybe this time in like 2 weeks, you could be only 3 points back. I saw a tweet earlier that I'm going to pull up that I kind of broke it down. Give me one moment. I'll pull it up. Let's see here. Let's see. Here we go. If you beat Detroit, beat the Islanders, beat Detroit, assuming both are in regulation, and Detroit loses to either Vegas or Arizona, you'll be 3 points back of Detroit with 14 games left to play. I mean, is that entirely possible? Yeah, you can beat Detroit. You can beat the Islanders. You play Detroit twice. You play the Islanders. These are all teams that are in front of you in the standings, and you need Detroit to lose to one of those 2 teams. Shit, they could lose both of those games. And you'll be in position to only be 3 points back in Detroit with 14 games left to play. If they would have just closed out Winnipeg too. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but is it very highly unlikely that this team can make the playoffs? Yes, like a 95% chance they don't make it. But if we all want to be cautiously optimistic Sabres fans and hope for the best, I'm here for it. I'm always here for it. So I've loved what I've seen from our newest defenseman in Bowen Byram. He adds a dynamic that we haven't really seen much of from any of our defensemen this season, especially the way he moves around on the power play and tries to open things up. I think it's going to help this power play a lot. Having him back there, not necessarily quarterbacking it, but yelling at guys, getting people to move their feet. He was mic'd up tonight, and you heard it. Like, he was very vocal. I love that about Bowen Byram. And we really haven't even gotten to see other sides of his game yet. It's only been 2 games, but I promise you, man, like, below the dots in the D zone, he is a menace to deal with. Like, players aren't gonna like come to the front of our net and screen our goalie when Bowen Byram's on the ice and not get hacked, not get cross-checked, not get moved out of the way. He's not going to stare and puck watch while the other, while he's got a guy shoulder to shoulder with him. Like, he's going to take his man. He's going to take him out of the play. That's what I love about Bowen Byram, man. It's like something I've wanted on this team all season long. Just show some physical presence there in front of your own goaltender. Like, just don't let guys just have their way with you in front of the net, and all season long, like when I have brought up my criticisms of certain players, like, you'll throw the analytics in my face. Oh, he's, when I say bench players, oh, he does this so well. I was expected this, expected that. Like, I don't give a fuck what those numbers say, man. I'm watching him, and like, I'm literally watching him just be so, whoever it might be, probably who I'm talking about, be so passive and just you're so much bigger than everybody else, but you don't play like it, and no one's telling you to go out there and be Scott Stevens, but play to your size. You can say that about a couple of these guys, and I don't want it to be Dahlin. I don't want it to be Dahlin that has to go out there and lay the boom every other shift. Like, you don't want that to your franchise defenseman, your finesse guy, to be that guy. But sometimes it's like, I guess it has to be. But you bring in a guy like Bowen Byram, who has that ability physically, or has that ability offensively to contribute. And we've seen it in 2 games so far, but also has the ability to play with some edge and strike a little fear into your opponent in front of your net. I'm all for it. And then we have seen so far for 2 games what he can contribute offensively, and I love it. So, again, not trying to be, again, the dumb optimistic guy, but be extra cautionary optimistic. Let's see what happens over the next couple of games. If Sabres can pull out some regulation wins, specifically like from that tweet against Detroit and the Islanders, you could put yourself in a spot where you could play some more meaningful games. And I'm here for it, man. I really, really am. UPL again, just an absolute stud between the pipes. Made some huge, huge saves. Sometimes looked a little like a fish out of water, but he was able to like still get in front of pucks. And in the shootout, like Jesus Christ, like just so steady. I mean, Leon Draisaitl barring in, nobody's stopping that. No goalie in the league is stopping that shot. But Stone McDavid, Stone Nugent Hopkins, their third shooter, and this was after, and that's the thing too, and this is where I'll give them credit, is like you have this mix of emotions because you thought 10 minutes before that you had already won the game. Like you're getting undressed, your skates are out, some guys might even have their skates almost off, like, and then you're being told, hey, you got to come back out here. You didn't win. It was offsides. You're like it's a mixture of emotions. And then you got to go out there, play another 20 seconds of 3-on-3 hockey. It might not sound much, but like 3-on-3 hockey, 20 seconds, that's all. It doesn't take much. It takes 10 seconds to score with one possession, one faceoff win. That's all it takes because there's so much open ice out there. So to go through those mixture of emotions and then come back and win it in a shootout, absolutely love it. And UPL being the most important factor in that because, those mixed emotions work differently with goalies than they do with players. It's like you're a goaltender, you just beat you feel you're already going through this feeling that you just beat one of the best teams in the National Hockey League with two of the best players of the world on them, with McDavid and Draisaitl, and you're like, shit, man, you're kind of like sigh of relief, anchor off your chest, like you're ready to just move on to the next game. Then all of a sudden, like, oh, I got to go back out there and play again. Okay, cool. Oh, and it's a shootout against Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Sweet, great, cool. So much credit to Ukko Pekka-Luukkonen for holding in there, composure wise, and stuffing one of the two best goal scorers in the world in Connor McDavid, and then stopping Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to seal the win for them after Alex Tuch. Love it when Alex Tuch is the guy to do it, scores to win the game. So we're going to hit some comments here from Brian Cozio because I'm sure a lot of these guys have a lot to say with their first win after the trade deadline, their first win without Casey Middlestat. Let's get some of the comments here from the post game. Granado, a roller coaster of emotions. Our guys worked their way back into the game. Lots of guys in different positions in the lineups, some changes. Some challenges right away to start the game, but we held it together until we got our game. Tuck says UPL's numbers are insane. He's been playing unbelievable. He's playing a lot and rolling with it. Tuck says it was so hard to see Okposo go. Says he bled blue and gold. Says they are happy he will go get an opportunity to win the Stanley Cup. Tuckle says in the shootout, Stuart Skinner was really good on the power shootout attempt, so he decided to go in from the other side, and he's glad it worked. Tuck on the ending. I feel really bad I went off sides there. I thought it was too close to call, but the league wants to give the Oilers another chance. No, just kidding. I wouldn't be surprised if it was true. Let's be real. More after the game. Granado on the way that ended with the offsides review. We waited in the locker room. Our video crew alerted us that things were on hold at that point. We waited a second or two until we knew for sure. Tuck said he apologized to Power for the offsides, said he was already at his stall with head down, recovering from exhausting OT when he got the word to go back out. Granado on Jeff Skinner's funk. I think he will get out of it. He's got a lot of pride in his game, says others have stepped up and gotten the extra ice time. Granado says Cousins, Thompson, and Darlene want to rise and attack the situation and elevate their game in absence of the guys who are now on other teams, including the captain, Okposo. Looks like that is it from terms of comments from some of from the players and coach after the game. But yeah, again, such a wild way to end. And you go up and down your timeline. That's all everybody was talking about is you see what happened at the Sabres game. They're all in the locker room getting undressed, and then they had to come back out. So I remember that happened during a football game once, like years and years and years ago. I don't know what the review was or what happened, but like I remember like most of the players were like, it was something with like the extra point or something. And like a lot of the players had to come back out. Some of them came out in like their shower sandals. It was years ago. I can't remember who it was. I want to say it might have been like a Dolphins game. I don't think it was Bills related. It was, but I think the Dolphins might have a team, one of the two teams that was involved. And they had to come back out and replay the final down. And they had to go back in the locker room, which was crazy. More from the Peanut Gallery. Bo Byram, 25 minutes and 46 seconds tonight, giving him 24-plus minutes in both games with us. He was a 20-minute guy with Colorado every year. We'll see how he holds up over time with 4 more minutes a night. Yeah, I think he's one of your. I'm pretty sure he played with Duane again tonight for the entire game, and like they look good together. So I think we found your guy that's going to play with Duane going forward. 2 games so far, he's looked good. Duane can play his right side. There's no doubt about that. Everyone else I question there has the left shot. Skinner was benched after the shorty. He puked up. Peterka, I didn't see why he got benched. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that either. It's a young kid with a lot of energy, and I don't ever really question JJ Peterka's effort out there. So that's kind of surprising. Byram looked really good in his games for us. He moves the puck fast, and he has a great shot and backs the defense off to create space. Yep, 100%. His ability to headman the puck, his first pass out of the zone, his zone exits, just he stays calm under pressure. He's poised. There's a lot to like about his game, and that's why I was so excited when I was announced. Not that I was excited that Casey Middlestat was traded, because I, like many of you, wanted him to still be a Sabre, but I like getting a defenseman like Bo Byram. That's a good move on Kevin Adams' part. I think it's going to work out in the long run. We've been desperately seeking a top 4 defenseman for how long now, and now we got one. So, more from the Peanut Gallery. Literally the best game I've watched all year. Did notice 2 things. Skinner didn't see much ice in the third, and JJ must have gotten hurt. Didn't see him much either. Skinner to the moon. I don't know. I hope somebody asked about that. Maybe I'll reach out to a couple of the guys we've had on the show in the past and see if we can get an answer on that, because I'm just curious why just over 6 minutes for JJ Peterka. That doesn't make much sense to me. We should have kept Middlestat, playmaker, creator, traded Cousins, Krebs, or for Byram. They're not trading. They're not going to. Well, first off, you're not getting Bowen Byram for Peyton Krebs. It's never going to happen. Secondly, they're not going to trade a guy that they have a ton of faith to be their second line center. It won't happen. Not at all. They just have him locked up till 2030. Again, I believe he will get his production back to where it was last season. That is one hell of a contract. I thoroughly believe that Dylan Cousins is a 75-point-plus player a year when playing at the top of his game, and has the ability to put 30 goals in the net and play with a physical edge every game. We've seen it in the past, and for that guy at $7 million, just north of $7 million a year, that's a steal in my opinion. Same thing with the Tage Thompson. When they're at the top of their game, when things are going their way. Again, this is sometimes you have a down year. It happens, unfortunately. I would expect that both those guys get their game back to that level we saw last year, something close to it. And we're not going to be complaining about them anymore as often as we do this season. I'm just happy the Sabres got me a win on my birthday. Happy birthday. And what made it all sweeter is UPL's birthday as well. Happy birthday, UP. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, UPL's birthday beat the Oilers twice. Pretty nice little birthday gift. A big week coming. They just have to keep things interesting. What was Krebs done lately? Nothing. 0. Middlestat is reliable, consistent playmaker. He can switch up on all top 3 lines. I mean, listen, dude, I don't disagree with you, Mauricio. I don't disagree with you. It's over. We need to get over it. It's over. He's gone. He's gone. He's not here. He's not here. He's with Colorado. He's loving their fans. He's loving their atmosphere. Cool. Sweet. Let him have it. Nobody cares. I don't care anymore. I'll root for him in the playoffs. Like, he was a solid player for us. He wanted to be here. I do truly believe he did love the fans. I mean, I just wish he worded things differently to the media. But that being said, he's no longer on our team, and we can sit here and complain about all they want, but he was never the solution for the 7 years he was here. It is what it is. You got a really good defenseman in return, and that is something this team desperately needed. They have a ton of talent coming up through the pipeline that I think they have a ton of faith in, and I think that they are eventually going to flip for assets. So let's see here. More from the Peanut Gallery. Refs suck equally for all teams in all sports, NBA exception. They are bought, but that why I never complain about refs. I have simply accepted the fact that they are bad for everyone. My screen has been foggy for the last 2 episodes. I don't know. Looks fine on my side of things. I apologize if it does seem foggy. Darlene, for whatever reason, has been blasting people with cross checks in front of the net last 2 games. Noticeably more than he normally does. I do like that. I hope he keeps doing it. Hope that's an effect of having a guy like Bowen Byram on the team. I disagree with the take. Griggs has 2 goals in his last 5 games. Obviously, dude doesn't watch the game. When you say Griggs, are you talking about Gergensons? I don't know. They won't fire anyone with a coaching staff, unfortunately. It's the Sabres. Can't trust them to do something right. I really do think that this coaching staff, at least the ones that surround Donnie, will probably be gone come the offseason. JJ has been feeling great. He has a nagging injury. That I wouldn't be surprised. 6 minutes in a game against a tight game, that doesn't surprise me if it is injury related. I swear if we make a run and miss the playoff by a couple points, I'm going to be pissed. And I called it, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a similar situation as it was last year. Damn, Sabres are an enigma. Tuck and Cousins need to finish and take it to the garage. I'm done being optimistic. This gets us nowhere. Yeah, it's tough to be optimistic. I admire your faith in Cousins. I don't see his upside. It's a mental game. Finally, justice served. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Paterka pass to Skinner was out of control. Rush create the turnover. Paterka needs to manage and control speed. Positive hockey trade. I see the upside in Byron. Middlestat will be missed. Huge regrets in the future. Middlestat is professional, creator, playmaker. Always consistent. Who will replace him? I don't know. I think hopefully there's a move in the offseason. Like I said, I think they're going to give Krebs his opportunity to be that guy. I think that there's faith there. There is talent there. We've seen it. And it's hard to just get on his case when you have a team full of guys who aren't finishing. But he has been noticeably a better player since being given more opportunity. Pucks just have to start going in the net. Just like you can say for just about every other player on this roster. So, but Sabres win 3-2. The schedule upcoming. They have the Detroit Red Wings this Tuesday at home, which should be an important game. And the Islanders on Thursday, and then they go to Detroit Saturday, March 16th for another 12:30 matinee game. So after these 3 games, and if you get Detroit to lose one of those 2 games, the one was the Vegas, and I forget who the other team was. You could be looking at being 3 points back of a playoff spot. Not entirely out of the question. With 14 games left, in those 14 games, the Seattle Kraken, the Vancouver Canucks, the Edmonton Oilers, the Flames, the Senators, the Devils, the Leafs, the Capitals, the Flyers, the Red Wings again, the Stars, the Capitals, the Panthers, and you end the season against the Lightning. So it's a tough schedule. There's some games that normally you would say, should be a gimme, but, this season hasn't really been about gimmies. You haven't been able to take advantage of the gimme games. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just do a Duane picks the Sabres type segment here. I think they'll beat the Red Wings. I think they'll beat the Isles, and I think they'll beat the Red Wings. I think they will. They could go and rip off their first 4-game winning streak here. I do. I really do, especially with the way UPL is playing. I think Bowen Byram adds a different dynamic to this team, especially on the power play. I think they're going to start scoring more on special teams. The Kraken, I think that's a loss. The Canucks, I think it's the loss. I think they can beat the Oilers again. Actually, no. Kraken is in Seattle. And they could easily go after going 4-0. They could easily go 0-3 here on this road trip out west. Oof. I'm gonna say they're gonna split these 4 games. Calgary, they have a 4-game stint out west. I think they'll beat Seattle. They're probably gonna lose to Vancouver. They'll lose to the Oilers, beat the Flames, and then they come back home. They'll beat the Senators. They'll beat the Devils. I think I'm always going to say, hey, beat the Leafs. They always play the Leafs tight, and I think that with so much riding on that game, they will beat the Leafs there. I think they can beat the Capitals at home. Lose to the Flyers. Beat the Red Wings. I think they'll go 3-0 against the Red Wings. They really do. Lose to the Stars. Beat the Capitals. Split between the Panthers and the Lightning. I don't know where really that will put them, but I know that's above 500 record for sure. And it really depends on if you can make up enough ground to get past some of these teams in front of you in the standings. Currently, right now, as it stands in the standings in the Atlantic, we are 7 points back from Tampa with one more game, and they have 1 game in hand. And we are, I'm not sure if this is updated with today's stats. You guys can let me know in the chat. But we are currently, if this is updated, we are 7 points behind the Red Wings, but they have 2 games in hand. And we do play them 3 times. We're not going to catch the Maple Leafs. So as of right now, the teams in front of us are the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Red Wings. I think those 2 teams are currently in the wild card spots. I'd have to check and see who I think those 2 teams are. I think in the wild card right now was it Detroit and Tampa. So those are the 2 teams you have to worry about getting wins against. You have to go undefeated against them in regulation, preferably. You can't really afford to give up loser points to any of these teams if you really want to put yourself in a spot here to compete for a playoff spot heading into the end of the season. And that's just in your own division. In terms of the Metro teams that are still in front of you, you got the Devils in front of you, you got the Capitals in front of you, got the Islanders in front of you, you got the Flyers in front of you. But like those are teams that I should say you have to worry about. Worry about what you can control. But like chances are the only teams that are currently in front of you that you can't afford to lose to or give up points to are the Devils, the Capitals, the Islanders, and Detroit and Tampa. So, and you play all those teams here in this last stretch of games. So every one of those games matters. You can't afford to give loser points. You have to go undefeated essentially in those games. Can't afford even a single loss. So, or at least get loser points on your own. Let's see here. The move is Owen Power plus picks prospects for Brady Tkachuk. We would be a wagon with Brady. I mean, I love Brady Tkachuk. I just don't think. I shouldn't say. I don't know if I think Ottawa might do that. They might. I think they would. Honestly, I'm not saying I want them to, but yeah. 500 season won't get a good draft pick. It won't make the playoffs. Nothing to look forward to. Watch the Isles game. They are desperate and playing well. Yeah, they're playing with desperation. Every point matters, every game matters, and unfortunately, Oh, wow. All right. There are some certain comments I'm not going to pull up in here in the chat. So, they need to rip off 10 games in a row. Just do it, like Yoda said to Luke. There is no try. Just do it. Just do. I think it was just do. I don't think there was any it at the end. Just do. I agree. Just do. Like Yoda says, just do. But I think if you start with those 3 games, win those 3, beat Detroit twice, beat the Islanders, and I would expect that maybe Detroit loses one of those 2 games. I think between Vancouver and Vegas. I think the other team was Vancouver. They lose one of those 2 games, then you're only 3 points out. So that being said, guys, I have a dinner to get to. Always love chatting with you here on the post game. I'll hang up and listen. Brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room. 8 different Western New York locations with over 300 beers to choose from. One of the best places to go for happy hour, Sabres game, any sporting event, or just winding down after a long day at work. Head over to Fatty Beer. You can buy gift cards and merch, different bundle packages they have at fattybeer.com or at Fatty Beer on Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget about Buffalo Logo Apparel, one of the greatest places to get all of your Buffalo sports apparel needs, whether it's your shirts, your hats, your hoodies. Buffalo Logo Apparel has it all, from the Sabres, the Bills, the Bisons, the Bandits. They have everything. And some merch for the upcoming clips. They are carrying our own merchandise now, including the Dominic Hasek Letterman embroidered hat. It's absolutely beautiful with the Hasek helmet on the side. Go check it out at Buffalo Logo Co. on Instagram and Twitter, buffalogo.com. Very, very financially reasonably priced. Go check them out. Tell them 2 Goalies 1 Mike sent you. I am Duane. I will talk to you guys possibly tomorrow. Me and Connor are shooting around the idea of me doing a episode of 2 Goalies 1 Mike, talk about the post trade deadline and maybe the road to come. So keep an eye out for that. And I'll talk to you guys later. As always, go Sabres. Shortcut.